Around 2008, I was getting a new transformer and I noticed something on the bottom left corner of my box. The advertisement for Transformers Collectors Club. Not knowing how the internet worked at the tender age of 5, I went and asked my mom what it was. After doing some research, the decision was made for her to sign me up immediately, seeing as how this was for major Transformers fans. What she signed me up for entitled me to a club magazine which featured several different things about the franchise, and I still have most of mine, and a comic wrote by the Fun Publications company. And of course there was hype made for BotCon within the magazine as well. But where I got most hyped was the figure subscription. Of course for the first few years I only got the subscription incentive figure because I was younger. But once I got a little bit older, I got the full experience from the subscription, and man, there were some bangers in that line. Figures like Ultra Mammoth, Sideburn, and Chrome Dome are just a couple that I can think of, but man, nothing would come close to their rendition of Beast Wars DepthCharge. Right off the bat, some of you eagle-eyed viewers that were around during the Bayverse, much like I was, then you guys will remember that this guy is a direct repaint of Hunt for the Decepticons Terradive, and that will become pretty obvious why very soon. But I don't know what it is, but this color scheme works so well for this alt mode. I mean, I know he's not a vehicle usually, but man, this Cyberjet works so well for him. Okay, so the reason he doesn't look like normal DepthCharge is because, well, he's not. He's a little bit more Trans Tech, Beast Wars Uprising, a little bit of regular Beast Wars, and all the same, he's a little bit of Shattered Glass, too. Let me explain it a little simpler than that. Alright, I've got you this time, Black Rat, and you'll see you escape from me. What is this? Hey, you're not supposed to be here. Wrong timeline.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, I've got you this time. Are you f***ing kidding me? This is bullshit. God, I'm so sick of this crap. Wait, who are you people? Primes, you want to play cards with us? Actually, yes, I do. Psych! Go fix the multiverse right now. Why do I have to do it? You guys are the Primes. You should be able to handle all this. Go! So yeah, back to the figure. This thing looks great, and the colors work so well for it. I mean, it's very much DepthCharge. And if you look on the side here, you can see that he's got the little eye painted from his Manta Ray mode. That is an awesome touch to kind of tie this back into the character. But yeah, this figure is great, and it's probably the cleanest jet mode I have ever seen on a Transformer, period. You look up here, he's got some very, very nice cockpit detail with the seat, and he's got a little, like, laser thing, I'm not really sure. And then, of course, you go up the sides, and you can see a bunch of molded panel lining detail all the way down. And then you got thrusters on the back, more detail on the wings. It just never stops. It really does not end with the detailing. And then underneath, like I said, everything is super clean, and that landing gear just picks it up off the ground nice so you can see how clean it is. And then, like I said, on the back, you've got really nice thrusters that do have screw heads in them, but I don't mind it. It still looks really nice to have thrusters on the back, and overall, it's just a very, very nice looking jet mode. Now, usually I would have the original mold on hand for direct comparison, but today, instead, I'm going to have Space Case in here, and not Terradive. Yes, usually I would have the original figure on hand for comparison, but I don't have Terradive anymore. Also, when the hell am I ever going to talk about Space Case again? So yeah, normally I would do an abridged video on someone like this, but it's fucking Space Case. Really, I mean, this guy is exactly the same mold-wise as DepthCharge, except he's got G2-centric decals all over him, because he's a G2 homage, and all this foggy-ass translucent plastic, which is not safe at all. Let's get back to DepthCharge. We might as well talk features now, and really, with this being a jet, there's not too much to go over, but let me go over it anyway. So for starters, he's got those landing gear underneath that fold up very nicely underneath when you want to make him fly around. But if you fold down his trident here and open it up, you can actually get him some sort of weird attack mode. So he can just fly over and shoot whatever's underneath him with lasers, or I don't know what comes out of it. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the vehicle mode. Let's transform him. If I'm being honest, that was one of the most unique transformations that I've ever seen on a Transformer. I mean, the way the cockpit works, flipping inside out basically, and then closing up to form the chest is amazing. And then the way the head flips around and the whole body flips basically, like I said, inside out is just crazy. And, oh, this robot mode is just awesome. Well, a lot of people are probably thinking that this doesn't look like DepthCharge. Well, it doesn't, but it's a different take on DepthCharge. And the reason they use this mold for him is literally because of the head. If you look at this thing side by side with the original head, you can definitely tell that this head sculpt was born to be DepthCharge. And in my opinion, it's a great choice. Alright, just one more time, let's pull in Space Case. And yeah, he does look a lot better in robot mode. I mean, there's a lot less translucent plastic here, even though it's still all over the toy. But he definitely looks like his G2 self with those little patterns on his chest. And the head kind of resembles his G2 self. But nothing can really pull me away from DepthCharge here. It's really about him, and he looks amazing. So let's get old Space Case out of the way and talk about the main event. Now, color-wise, this guy still looks amazing. I mean, there's a little bit more yellow on display here, but he still looks awesome, and that silver on the chest kind of brings it all together. He's got basically an armor plate with the inside-out cockpit, and he just looks really good. Now, detailing-wise, there really is a lot going on with him because, well, he is a repaint of a movie figure. Starting up top, you'll notice there's a lot of exposed wiring and tech detail on his chest and forearms there, which is a nice touch. I mean, that kind of leans into him being more of a trans-tech style figure or character, even though he does come from the Uprising series. And then on the legs, there's a lot of the like veiny wiring detail on his legs as well, so that's nice. And there's a little bit of hollowness there, but nah, it doesn't really count. And then, of course, on his legs, there's a lot going on his legs with the tech detail. And you open this up, you can see a lot more right there. So there is really a lot going on with this guy, and I am honestly here for it. Another thing detailing-wise about the figure I wanted to talk about was the fact that he's got these wings on his back, but they're not the regular wings. Those are on the legs. These are the tail fin wings. Now, let me ask you this. When has that ever happened on any other figure besides this one, where the tail fin forms the wing pack? That's a new one on me. Now, feature-wise, he keeps it relatively simple. He's just got one accessory, and that's fine. Now, in terms of features, he keeps it relatively simple. He's got absolutely astounding light piping. I mean, they really do not do it like this anymore, and it's really unfortunate. And of course, we talked about it earlier, he has one accessory, and it is his awesome trident. You just unfold it like that, pull that down, and you just slip it on into his hands with those two notches, and you've got him holding the trident just like so. And this thing is just the slickest. I mean, it feeds into his original beast mode being from underwater just perfectly. And the fact that he's a bounty hunter carrying around a damn trident is just so freaking badass. I mean, this thing just looks amazing carrying it around. It just suits this figure so well. Yeah, you ain't got shit, Black Zarak. Suck it. And of course, if you got a figure with a melee weapon, you're gonna want good posing. Well, now of course, in terms of articulation, this guy is pretty damn good. You got a ball joint on the head. It's a little bit of a short one, so you can't really go too high or low with it because it might come off, but it's good enough. You can get just enough with it. He's got really universal shoulders that go all the way around and then they go outward. And then he's got a bicep swivel on a mushroom peg. And he's got a wrist swivel and a very, very nice elbow. And actually, it's technically double jointed due to transformation. So that allows for a lot of good posing there. And then he's got a ball joint at the hip and a hip swivel. He's got a knee that goes just about 90 degrees. It's about right, about exactly. And then he's got a hip foot pivot, which can come very much in handy. And he's got, I suppose you could count this. I don't think you should. But overall, not bad articulation. He does just what you need him to do, and that is that. So overall, I gotta say, FunPub made an absolute W with this figure. I mean, you can just throw him in any pose you want, and he's going to look great. And you can put him with just about anybody on your shelf, and it's going to look right because he's a dimension hopper. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Well, just about anywhere. But with that being said, this will definitely not be the last time we look at FunPub on this channel. I still have a lot planned for them. As always, guys, I've been Treebot Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. And if you liked the video, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you all in the next one. Keep growing your collections.